Alright guys, this is going to be a very simple, quick and easy tutorial for brows. I'm only going to be using one product in this video, which makes it extremely easy. First, I'm going to be using my NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm going to be using the shade Espresso. I don't know if you guys can see that. So on one end, you've got a spoolie, and on the other, you've got your retractable brow pencil. Let's zoom in and get started on these brows. Alright, now that we're zoomed in, you can get a better idea of what my brows look like. So what I first like to do is I'm going to be taking a spoolie, any spoolie. I'm going to take this MAC spoolie and go ahead and brush my brows. If you'll notice I'm brushing my brows up, I prefer to brush my brows up because it enhances the natural shape of my brows. I also prefer to brush my brows up because it makes them appear more full. So I've got my brow pencil, and I like to look at the shape of my brows before I start. I've got them all brushed, all going the right direction. Now what I like to do is I like to start at the base of my brow or underneath. And I like to do short little mini strokes. Now I like to turn my hand like this, almost like I'm breaking my hand, and tilt my head. Small strokes. Nothing harsh. Just following the line. All the way to the tail of the brow. Now, in between application, I'll take my spoolie and softly blend the product into the brow. I'll tend to have to go back and forth a few times, but that's okay. Same thing again. Then I jump to the top, tilt my head down, and start filling in. Alright, so for the tail, you'll see that I have a little bit of a sparse area. I'll just go ahead and fill that in, slight downward strokes. And if you'll notice, I'm barely applying any pressure when I'm using this pencil. And all I'm doing is following the natural shape of my brow. Go back in and repeat. And don't worry about any mess ups. You can just use your spoolie and clean that up. Now, when I come towards the head of the brow, I like to use a less pressure. And start pulling up lightly from the base. Take my spoolie again. Just softly blend the product through the brows. Now I did have a little bit of a mess up there, but I can always go in with concealer. But when I'm normally doing my brows on a soft, natural day like this, I prefer not to use any concealer. I just like them to look more natural. As soft and natural as can be. I'm also paying close attention, and I'm also paying careful attention not to fill up the front of the brow. And brush again. And go back into the tail one more time. And one last brush with the spoolie. There you have it. Now you have to remember, guys, that like the old saying goes, brows are more like sisters and not twins. My brows sometimes on occasion will be even more like cousins. So we all have our good brow days and we all have our bad brow days. So I'm going to do my best to try and match this right to the left. Now the reason being I started with the left brow in particular is because it's more full. If I were to start on the right brow and do this first, it would be harder to match the left because the right has less hair and the arch is higher. So no, being that the left is more full and has a lower arch, I like to start with this to be the template for my right brow. Doing the same thing we did with the left. I'm just going to go ahead and start brushing the right brow hair up again. Paying attention to the natural shape of my brow. And we will go ahead and start. Using light pressure again. Start at the base. And gently fill. Gently underline the brow. Grab my spoolie. Just gonna brush the product through the brow. Soften any harsh lines. And I will look at that and assess the shape. Go back in. And do the same thing at the top. I usually like to start about halfway, if not 3/4 of the way in. And you'll notice I'll do the same thing at the top that I did the bottom. Light pressure. It's close to the natural brow line. Skip that. Slightly over drawing the top. Now that we have our outline, just go ahead and start filling. Once again, I'm not trying to make them symmetrical, I'm only trying to make them as similar as possible while keeping them both natural without looking too filled. And without using any sort of concealer or anything to clean up the brows. That would defeat the purpose of having a natural looking brow. Alright, go ahead and just brush through it again. And go ahead and look at our brows. And they're pretty much done. I can usually do this fairly quickly. Doesn't take too much work, but this is literally just one step. This is super easy. Now my brows still are not exactly the same. If I wanted to, I can still go back in and fill more, but I like this look. Just simple, easy, natural. And what helps make the brows look natural in this sense is that you can still see a little bit of spaces where skin slightly peeks through the hair, and it just makes it look really soft and natural. Manicure on the top, brush through, and there we have it. Alright guys, thanks so much again for watching. I hope you guys took away some tips and tricks on how to perfect your easy, simple, everyday natural brow. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.